Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful 3-day weekend. It was a much needed kind of break, I guess. I had to do some schoolwork for my degree that I'm working on, and a whole bunch of stuff, of course, for school here because we are coming on the end of the 9-week period. So it's going to be super important that you get all of your missing assignments in as well as keep up with these assignments for this week. This will be the last week for virtual learners to have new assignments. The whole last week of the 9 weeks, you are going to have district assessments and you have time to do makeup work. And then on the 29th, we will not have any live classes for you so that we are able to get all of our grades in. I will be posting it in a stream too. Okay, so starting today's lesson, again, I'm just going to go through it rather quickly, I guess. If at any time you need more time, simply pause the video. That's all you have to do is pause, okay? Not trying to rush you. This is week 8. It's work for the week of, I guess I should have put 118, but 119 through 122 or 122. I'm going to click on Tuesday's work for the 19th. In this lesson, you'll be able to take information from your help chart that you did last week and begin developing your essay, beginning with the introductory paragraph. That's what we're going to work on today. And then I put, if for whatever reason you are not able to attend class or if you need to review the information again, there's going to be a video linked on the first slide of the presentation. It's not there right now because that's what I'm doing right now is recording the video. So I'm going to go ahead and click this open. It'll open a separate presentation for everyone. I have it set up that way. I know that y'all get super nervous to write, but we're going to go through it in like baby steps. So it's not going to be difficult for you to figure out. Okay. Also, remember, you need to watch your punctuation. I might go back and put that on here. Watch your punctuation, capitalization, spelling. Of course, all of this stuff can be revised and edited, but I want you to really get in the habit of watching that stuff naturally so that when it comes time for STAR test or whatever test or writing in general or an email or a resume, whatever it is, that you're more aware of your capitalization, punctuation, spelling, and things like that. Okay, so today is expository essay intro. Why is it important to sometimes take risks? Remember last week you had that help chart. Oh, I don't know if I have mine pulled up right now. Let me see. Mm, mhm, I like everything else. I think this one's mine. Yeah. You should have filled out this help chart last week, and if you did not, you need to because that is where you're getting all of your ideas for your writing. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. I have a small screenshot, or yeah, I guess like a screenshot of this in my presentation. To be able to see it on the slide, you would really have to zoom in a lot because it's a small screenshot. I wanted it all to fit on the slide. So anyway, again, your prompt from last week, we are continuing from last week, is to write an essay explaining. This tells you it's expository text. You can put personal experiences in your expository writing, but you should not make it a personal narrative where you're focused solely on that one story, if that makes sense. Explain why it is sometimes necessary to take a chance or a risk. Okay. I had asked you to list 4 reasons why it's sometimes necessary to take a chance or a risk. I did not have this all filled out last week because I did not want you just copying what I had written down. So there were some things on there, some sentence starters as well. Um, just to make sure you were understanding. But I really wanted you to try to come up with your own ideas because on that test, guess who can't help you? Miss G can't help you. So once y'all practicing, I think the hardest part that I've heard everybody say is coming up with the ideas. So we need to practice coming up with the ideas. If the writing is not the issue, the coming up with the ideas is the issue, well, then let's practice on coming up with ideas. So it said 4 reasons why it's sometimes necessary to take a chance. I did list 5. You can have more than 4, but 4 is a good, maybe a good number to be able to choose 2 from. So I had on here to help yourself or others. This is a reason to take a chance, right? To change the world, to grow as a person or to grow as maybe in a skill, to create something new. Sometimes if you don't take risk, you might not be creating something like inventions or apps or whatever the case may be. And maybe to gain experience in something. Sometimes you just need, necessary need, to take a chance or a risk. These are my 5 reasons that I came up with. You should have come up with 4. Again, we did this last week. So you're referring back to your work last week. Um, then I asked you to list 1 to 2 examples per box. The HELP, this is where your help chart comes in for H. It's someone in history who took a chance. Being that it's MLK Day, MLK's birthday, that we're celebrating, and the whole reason that we are not at school today when I'm recording this on Monday. MLK took a chance by standing up for equal rights for all people. This was not just, honestly, it wasn't equal rights of just African Americans. It was equal rights for Hispanics, Latino, equal rights for Asians, for American Indian, for women, for men, all of the people, all people, okay? And he did it in a way that he always stressed be nonviolent, and they did like marches and protests where they would do like marches like what we have seen recently, and protests where they go and do sit-ins, like where the African Americans were not allowed into like the certain parts of a restaurant. Maybe they had to use a back entrance and sit in the back if they were allowed to sit there at all. There were African Americans at this time that went through the front entrance where they weren't supposed to be allowed, and they just sat there. They didn't do anything. They just sat there, and they were proving a point that's not going to hurt anybody for them to sit there with everybody else and order their meal or whatever it is and all eat together. And you see the results of that now. We're able to do that. So that was a deal. Um, Another historical example that I came up with is a guy named Todd Beamer. Y'all probably do not know him, maybe have never heard of him. I remember because this was back during 9/11, and this was before you guys were born. So that's probably why it's not ringing a bell with you. But there was this airplane flight 93, and there were the terrorists on that flight, and I believe this was the 3rd plane. The, first 2 had already crashed into the Twin Towers. So, the people in this flight kinda not knowing what was going on realized that they were terrorists. The terrorists stood up and kinda said, "Hey, we're taking over the plane. This is what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna crash into," I think it was the Pentagon. Um, so this is it's a difficult thing to explain because it's kind of a really emotional thing, and it was very scary. Um, but Todd Beamer and a group of guys, I guess mostly guys, there could have been some women, but I'm not positive on that. Um, they all realized that they were probably all going to die, honestly, because you have these terrorists saying, "Hey, we're taking over the plane and we're going to crash it into this building." So that would result in death. Or the option of that would be, "Hey, let's get some people together. Let's take down the terrorists, and the plane's going to go down and crash, but we're going to save other people." So that was a huge deal. People on the flight knowing that they probably would not survive this plane crash, called people if they were able to tell people that they loved them, and knowing that they were doing kind of a big deal by saving who knows how many other thousands of people by taking this plane down. So that's another example Remember, we're writing about taking a chance or a risk, and I chose these 2. I thought I could write the best about these. Those are the 2 I chose. This is just brainstorming. I chose these 2. I need 2 reasons for my controlling idea or my thesis statement. So I chose those, okay? So I'm looking for ideas that help yourself or others or ideas to change the world. So this one kind of changed the world, I would say. And then this one helped himself or others. And I would say it's mostly the others, of course. Then, for personal experience, thinking about helping yourself or others or changing the world, my niece took a chance when she moved to LA to become a hairstylist. She wanted to work on celebrity hair, and she gained a lot of knowledge by some people that saw her true talent and would like send her to classes and got her hooked up with a few celebrities, not huge named celebrities. Because you have to start somewhere, right? But that was taking a chance and that was helping herself, right? And then my friend took a chance when she opened her own business, hearing people with, helping, I can't even read it, helping people with disabilities find jobs. She now owns a health bar and she flips houses to help people that otherwise wouldn't be able to purchase their own homes, but because probably they didn't have good credit score or they don't have the money to do so. She's finding really cheap, kind of rundown houses, and with resources that she is able to come up with, she is flipping these houses, which means she's restoring them and making them livable, and then she's selling them to people that wouldn't otherwise qualify to own their own home for a decent price without getting them in too much debt. So she is actually helping others, right? And then literature, this can be books, movies, TV shows, poems, whatever. You want to provide the title and the character who took a chance. So my first thought was, oh, and this one's misspelled. Oh, no, it's not. I have it run together. Huh. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, Katniss Everdeen. So if you do not know who she was a character in The Hunger Games. So I have the character name and I have where it's coming from. Now, this is either if you've read the books or watched the movie, right? Katniss Everdeen took a chance when she chose to take her sister's place in The Hunger Games. So basically, all these kids between this age and this age get called down like once every, I don't know how many years or whatever it is. I'm not recalling. And they're everybody has to like put their name in a bowl and they draw out one guy, one girl. And the girl that was drawn happened to be Katniss's sister Primrose, um, who she calls Prim. And it was her very first year to even have to be involved in this because, like I said, it was from a certain age range and it was her first year. And she was kind of frail and she looked a little sickly. She didn't look as skilled as Katniss did. So Katniss, being her older sister, and kind of there were problems with mom, and mom didn't always do a great job of raising them. So Katniss kind of raised Prim, and the words that were used were volunteer as tribute, which means I know my sister was chosen to do this and go into the Hunger Games, but I know she probably is not going to survive it. So I am volunteering to take her place. So that was something that um, helped others at that time. I think eventually you could say that she helped to change that world once you go through the trilogy of the books. But for right now, this part that I'm talking about is helping others, and that was Prim. Um, so there was another example I thought of. Elle Woods, a lead character in the movie Legally Blonde, took a chance when she went to law school at Harvard. Originally, she went there to earn the heart of who she thought was the love of her life, but didn't end up being the love of her life. And she ended up being actually a very talented lawyer because she had a good heart and she had good intuition. She was loyal and trusting. So her character traits helped her to actually become a good lawyer. And actually is a Legally Blonde 2, where she actually is working as a lawyer. And then I heard that they're currently trying to get things together for Legally Blonde 3, so I'm super excited about that. But ended up being she kind of helped herself, but at the end she helped others. So You could write about it either way. And then there's another movie that I like called The Devil Wears Prada. The character's name is Andy Sachs. So it says Andy Sachs from the movie The Devil Wears Prada took a chance when she took a job at a top fashion magazine in hopes it would lead her to a job she truly wanted in journalism. She knew nothing about fashion. Um, she just wanted to be a writer. So she thought this was a good way to get her foot in the door. But then she got really involved in the whole fashion scene, kind of lost sight of who she was for a minute, and then ended up actually quitting that job, getting a job that she did want in the first place, being a journalist for, I think, a newspaper, if I'm not mistaken. But for her, it built tough character and she found herself and what's important to her. So she helped herself in this situation, right? One of my two options that I'm writing about. And then in pop culture, this is something that's currently popular. That's where pop culture comes from. Pop is short for popular. You can write about typically a celebrity or someone that's in the news or current events that maybe took a chance. So the first one I thought of is probably not a real popular decision, but I think it's a decent one. Kim Kardashian actually took a chance when by helping those that were wrongly accused of a crime to be released from prison. So these are people that went to prison, a lot of them for a super long period of time. Um, and they would write her and ask her, "Hey, we know you have tons of money. I did not do this crime. I went out," or people would write, like people from their family would say, "My family member has been in prison and they didn't do this, and we have proof. We just need money to get the proof and actually go to court on this." But she's done this a few times and ended up getting the people released from prison with evidence that they finally came up with. And then those people were actually able to go home and spend time with their family. And some of them, it was like 20 plus years. So a long, long time to be in prison. Super sad. But she's taken a chance. Now, her dad, Robert Kardashian, was actually a lawyer himself. So she's actually following as well in her dad's footsteps. And then there's, this actress, I don't know if y'all know, well, it's actually who played Katniss Everdeen. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. She played Katniss Everdeen in the movies The Hunger Games. She took a chance when she, was in high school, and she nominated a friend of hers named Andy for Most Popular Boy in School. Andy was, or is, I guess, a special needs student. He was a student with Down syndrome. And he ended up winning, and they still keep in touch today. So, sorry about that. That's an example of helping others as well. So, I have my help chart all filled out, and I'm going to actually utilize this in our lesson today. So, let me go on with that. Again, if you have not done that help chart, you need to. Okay, so here's my title slide. This video is going to be linked like right here, or I guess where it says click here. Linked here, and it'll be like a different color and underlined. So yeah, that's where you can watch the video. Moving on to the next slide, I talk about the help chart, and that's where you will find my little snippet. But like I said, to be able to see it really well, you'll have to really enlarge the slide. You can always put it in present mode, but you're going to have to take it out of present mode to be able to write on the presentation. So I put, last week you completed a help chart while brainstorming about taking risks. You were going to focus on 2 of the 4 ideas at the top of your chart that you could write the most about. My example is below. And then I put here, just a reminder, if you had not completed a help chart, which was attached in your lesson that was labeled Wednesday through Friday of last week, you need to do one. That is where your ideas are going to come from. And if you do not have it filled out, you're probably going to struggle. So my 2 reasons I chose, I already told you, help self or others and change the world. Now that I know my reasons that are going to go in my control an idea, I can now look at my examples to see which ones fit my reasons. So I looked at all, let's see, I put 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 examples total. I narrowed it down to these 5 that I thought fit changing yourself, others, changing the world that I could really write about. Now, when I get down to it, I'll probably only need 2, okay? Maybe 1 to back up my first reason, changing or to help yourself or others, and then, the second one will be changing the world, okay? So moving on. Now we're going to begin developing your introductory paragraph. There are 3 parts to an introductory paragraph. The first part is the hook. That's what it's called. Here's a little visual to help remind you. There's your hook. That's how you're getting the attention. Just like if there were bait on this hook, the fish would bite it and they would be very interested, right? That's why they're biting it. So you need to have your readers interested somehow. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. Number 2 is the bridge, which explains your hook. And then here's a visual for that. And then number 3 is your thesis statement, or what we have been calling your controlling idea, which is your topic. Y'all have learned this, we practiced it. Topic, your answer, because, and your 2 reasons. Remember, I've already chosen my 2 reasons. That's why I said it's going to be super important for you to go back and do your help chart if you did not. But my 2 reasons are helping yourself or others and changing the world. Okay, so let's just go break these down real quick. I have a video here for part 1, which is the hook. It says watch this video that explains what a hook is, and while you watch, try to think of a way that you could hook your audience. Okay, let's watch the video. Okay. So what you want to do is grab their attention by stating, I want you to do one of two things. State an interesting fact, or I want you to quote someone. Okay? So I have written that here. So for your hook, I'd like you to choose one of two ways to begin. You could begin with an interesting fact about your topic, and I gave a couple of examples. So you could start by saying, believe it or not, it's been scientifically proven that taking risks is contagious. Um, Meaning that once somebody takes a risk, others will take that same risk, right? Because they feel like there's backing and support, and they feel like they're not the only one. Another example, which is true, it has been scientifically proven. Don't make up things like this, because when people read it, I have read things like that, and I'm like, is that true? Is that valid? I don't know. Another example is science says people need to take risks in order to be successful in life. In other words, if you do not take a risk, you're kind of going nowhere, right? Because you're just doing what's safe. And sometimes you can't do what's safe to be successful. You could, but they said science has proven through studies that if you take risk, you're more successful. Or, so that's an interesting fact, or you could begin with a quote. For example, a famous actress, Gina Davis, once said, if you risk nothing, then you risk everything. Do you see what she's saying in that? She's saying if you don't take risks, then we're putting things up to chance that um, we're never going to make change, I feel like is what she's saying with that. That's how I'm interpreting it. And then, it doesn't have to be somebody famous that you're quoting. You could even say something like, there's a famous saying that goes like this or whatever. But here's another example. My grandmother, see, I could quote Granny. My grandmother once told me, if you risk nothing in life, then that's what you'll get, nothing. So if you're not taking chances in your life, then you're pretty much going to get what you get. You kind of always, and I think people do tend to agree with you get out of things what you put in it. So like if you put in hard work, you get rewards from that, right? So if you don't put in some risks, then you're not going to gain anything because you're not contributing anything. So I want you to, I'm actually going to make these maybe different colors, I guess. I don't know. What should we do? I think I'll make it red. Either an interesting fact. Did I highlight it? I didn't want to do that. Hold on. I do that every time, I feel like. And then we'll do quote as well. And put that in red. Okay. Okay. Oh, I just got through telling y'all that I did that already. Okay. It's goofy. Come on, G. Okay. So either an interesting fact or a quote. Those are the two I want you to focus on. I remember in the video too, it did say you could quote a song. Remember that it needs to be appropriate. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but anytime you do something for school, it should be appropriate. Okay. So this is what I have so far. Because of it's going to look like a lot. Don't be scared. Because I have it looks bunched up. Because I have finished my help chart and the fact that I have started on my introductory paragraph, this is what I have. So I have a prompt. Our prompt is to explain why it's sometimes important to take risks. Sometimes it helps to change that into a question, just for the sake of coming up with your reasons. Okay, so I did change it to a question here. Why is it sometimes important to take risks, right? And then you're going to answer the question to form your controlling idea. So this goes back to the help chart, our two reasons that we focused on out of our four. So I can say, let me find which one I was on. I can say that it's important to take risks because you help yourself or others, or you can help change the world. So maybe I should highlight those, I guess. I'm going to highlight these yellow like I did on my help chart. This time I'm picking the highlight for real. Okay. All right. So those are my 2 reasons, and I got those from my help chart. I put that up there. Now I can make my controlling idea because I have my prompt. They're wanting me to write about, I try to color code it for you as well. The topic would be taking risk. So, and we're going to kind of rearrange it a little bit on the controlling idea. We're not going to state the topic first, but our answer first. So I don't know if I really should maybe switch those, maybe. Um, so the topic is taking risks. The answer, they kind of already gave us the answer, and I put that here. Um, my answer, which is A, is kind of already given to me in the prompt. They want me to tell why it's important. Sometimes it will like have you choose which way to think, like say if it is or if it is not important. This prompt, this particular prompt is saying, tell me why it is. So they already gave me my answer. And then B, is just because, and that's what you're going to put because. And that just prepares you to do your explanation a little bit. And then your 2 reasons. Now, here you're only stating those 2 reasons that you have highlighted here. You're not going to go into detail. That's going to be your body paragraph, is where you start going into detail and giving your examples. Okay. So I just put that in here. So if I did the formula, I really think I might have to change the T and the A and do an A and a T. Um, hmm, let me go ahead and do that, I guess. Man, this is going to take up some of our time. That's okay. I want y'all to see my thinking on this. So I'm actually going to change it. If somebody tells me later, Miss G, that's not the formula you taught us. I know, but I think it's less confusing. Where'd the J come from? Not Justin Timberlake. I think it's going to be less confusing if we go ahead and make the adjustment because I write it in this order, I think, typically. Oh, what did I do? Okay. So our top, did I just, what did I just do? Are you serious? Y'all. Okay. This needs to be my answer. Were y'all sitting there watching me like, why is she typing the exact same thing? It'll be all right. Okay. So our formula is the answer to the prompt. It is sometimes important, right? It is sometimes important, orange, orange, to do what? What's your topic? Take risks because, and here are my 2 reasons. You can help yourself or others, and you can help change the world. Okay? And then I have my possible 5 for my examples that I said would be good for helping others or changing the world. I've already been through those and I kind of listed out to the side my thought process on that. And then I decided on my hook. Here's my hook. Here's my controlling idea. Here's my hook. A famous actress once said, now I could have put her name Gina Davis, but probably y'all have no clue who she is. So I just put a famous actress once said, if you risk nothing, then you risk everything. Okay? So that's what I have so far. Now you are going to start thinking about a bridge. How do we bridge these together? So I said to watch this video that explains the bridge. Should I have put in? I'm thinking, y'all, I'm thinking I should put in a slide here in between, maybe in between these 2 or in between these 2. What did I do here? Here I did the hook. Okay, and then we have the controlling. So maybe I'll put it here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. As I'm going through this, I'm making adjustments because I'm thinking Here, you probably need to list your information. So let me change my font. Been using School Bell. Okay. List your information you have so far here. Okay. So let me make this black because it's a gray color right now and it's kind of hard to see. Um, okay. So I want you to think of your hook. Well, let me provide you the prompt again. What happened? You know what I did. Y'all, the highlighter again. Like the struggle is real. Okay. So the prompt again is explain why it is sometimes important to take chances. You can use either chances, but I'd not put an S in, or risks. And then you can change it into a question. Let me put my question mark after I just told y'all to watch punctuation. Okay, so I want you to tell me, I'm trying to think of which one I want first. Tell me your controlling idea. I should label it. Which, remember, in high school they call it a thesis. And remember to follow, I guess I could put up there, follow the answer plus the topic plus because plus your two reasons. Okay. So you're going to write those here. And then write your hook here. Okay. You could go back and change them. This is not a set in stone situation. Okay. So if you did end up switching around after you get your ideas better organized, that's cool. That's what all the rough drafts are for. And your planning. Okay. Let's go on to the next part, which is your bridge. So a bridge is going to take your hook statement and your thesis statement, and it's going to connect the two together by explaining how your thesis statement relates to the hook. Let's watch this video and you start brainstorming in your mind what you think about this and how you will be able to take your thesis statement that you wrote and your hook that you developed, whatever it is, and you are going to explain them and connect them together. Okay. So that kind of explained the bridge. What she's calling her claim statement, that would be where your thesis or your controlling idea is going to go in. Okay. So you're just connecting the two ideas together. So for my example that I'm showing you here, of course, is my hook and my controlling idea. Oh, I need to go back and put pictures on y'all's so that y'all have pictures too. Anyway, um, my hook, my controlling idea, and then I bridge the two together. So, since my hook is a famous actress once said, if you risk nothing, then you risk everything. And that's what I'm going to start with. And my thesis is it is sometimes important to take risks because you can help yourself or others and you can help change the world. And that's going to be my last sentence in the paragraph. So now you have to try to connect the two together or bridge the two so that it all makes sense. So here's my visual, what it looks like. Maybe I should draw a box around that. How do I do a shape? Can I do a shape here? Y'all are probably like, it is not that drastic and important. But I feel like I need to separate them almost from my explanation. Let me take the fill off, make it transparent, and then this, make the border. Um, I don't know, I guess I'll do red. I'm trying to really get your attention on it, so I'm trying to use colors that are drawing your eyes. Um, okay, so if I were writing this, a famous actress once said, if you risk nothing, then you risk everything. Also notice I have once said, comma, quotation marks. If you risk nothing, comma, then you risk everything, period, quotation marks. If I'm quoting somebody, those have to be there. And then I put in here, what can you write here to connect the two? And then my thesis, it is sometimes important to take risks because you can help yourself or others and you can help change the world. Okay. So hopefully y'all are seeing where I'm coming from on this now. Um, I hope that it's making a little bit more sense. Look how I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm going to paste these in. Your hook goes here. I don't know why it does that. It'll put it where it was on the slide that I copied it from. Your hook. And then got it from this one, right? Copy. Oh, wrong one. And paste. Okay. I'm almost wondering too if I should have done separate text boxes or if that's good for y'all. I hope that's good. We're going to keep it there. Okay. So this is where you're controlling ideas, your hook goes here, and then you're going to start developing that bridge. And remember, this is all changeable. I should have put that on there too. See if we can do that real quick. Oh, it I was waiting for it and it was already there. So I'm doing a text box and then I'm going to use this one that looks like a stamp to me and then the text color red. And then I'll put you can change this as you write for it to make better sense. Um, what else did I want to say? Just put what you think you'll write for now. Maybe that's pretty clear. And then I'll go ahead and do this. Oh, my stomach's growling. I'm hungry. Okay. Change. And then scooch. Okay. Cool. And y'all can move that if it's in your way. Okay, so then we did the bridge. Now remember, this is the good thing about writing your brainstorming stuff down, writing your plan down, your rough draft down, because you can go back and make those changes before you publish it or before your final copy. Okay? So here's what I came up with for mine. Remember, I have my hook statement, I have my controlling idea, and then my bridge is what's in the middle. A famous actress once said, if you risk nothing, then you'll risk everything. Without risks, there could not be any change. We would also keep doing what we've always done. Someone has to take a chance to be the first person to stand up for someone or something. Someone has to take the chance to speak up in order to make changes for the better. It sometimes is important to take risks because you can help yourself or others and you can help change the world. Feel like there should be a comma here. Revising and editing as you go, y'all. It's okay to do it. And I think I didn't put it on any of the others either. After I read it out loud, I was like, oh, that's kind of a run on sentence. I need to fix that. Let me see if I can get the, come on, cursor. Why is it not wanting to go over here? It's clear that I'm clicking here 100 times. Are you serious? Okay, well, it's not doing it right now. Oh, maybe because it's this box. Ah, funny. Okay, well, it's switching boxes and I can't get it to do it. Okay, so that's my example of hmm, how to take your hook statement. Come on. Oh, dang. I'm having a hard time getting this A because of the little fish. I was gonna put it in orange so that y'all could see that that's okay. Well, just know that that little A goes with it. And then controlling idea, I will highlight in yellow because I don't want to put it in yellow. Y'all won't be able to see it. I don't know why I didn't get the eye on that one. Okay. So when you've done this, you've pretty much done your introductory paragraph. That's it. So you'll notice your two reasons that you picked on that help chart, how you wrote four, I had written five, you wrote four, and you chose two that you thought you could write about, and mine were to help yourself and others and to help change the world. Those are going to be used for the body of your essay, which we will do in our next lesson. So this is your, I guess, your organizer. Use your help chart to provide the parts of your introductory paragraph. So maybe I didn't need that. Well, I'll keep it there. Starting with your controlling idea, because we can develop that first using our help chart. We have the prompts and we have the reasons developed. So you can put your controlling idea, do that one first. I don't think, I wonder if I can put the little one icon in there. I'll try. I have this like little extension, but I don't know if it'll work on this. I'm not positive. Oh, I closed it somehow. Hmm. I want you to do this one first, and let me see if I can put a number in there. Um, it's not working. Come on, computer. Don't fail me now. Ah, I'm not positive that it is going to, I don't know if it's going to transfer over. Oh, look, it made it a big box. I'm not positive that that's going to work. Let me see. I'm just trying to help y'all a little with, oh, I turned it upside down. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this because I could probably spend hours messing with this stuff to get it right. And I don't want to spend hours doing that. Okay, so what I can do is I'll put in an image search, I guess, for one. Really? Gosh. If I could focus for 5 seconds, that would be good. Okay, so I can just use this one, I guess. And I just click and drag it over here. And if it's in y'all's way, you can get rid of it. That's fine. I knew it flipped. This is what you do first. All this trouble. I don't know why I insist on doing this. And then the second thing will be, guess we'll use this one, your hook. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the third thing is your bridge. Bridge the two ideas together. Oh, those donuts look good. Can I just do a candle 3? Doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. What was that one? I'll just do that one. It's a little boring, but hey, it's just supposed to help you with order, right? Okay, so you will do it in that order. Your controlling idea, then the hook. Then I want you to bridge those two ideas together. Oh dear, what am I doing? It works a little bit slow when you're recording, so it's weird. I just flipped this one everywhere. I don't even know what's going on. Okay, I think I got it now. Cool. Okay, so you're gonna do it in that order. And then I have here That's all for today. Don't forget to submit. So you're going to return to Google Classroom and hit that submit button or turn in button for me. Okay. And that way I'm going to know that you're done. Tomorrow we will, if we finished all of it, which we may have to take 2 days on this, we will do the body paragraph. Okay. I'll see y'all tomorrow.